How do I find the right person when I'm dating? How do I find the person who's right for me when I'm dating? And I got that, or on the internet, I got that question like 3 times in a row, and I thought, because I always think this, what about that question? What's wrong with that question? Something wrong with that question. How do I conduct myself so that I am the best possible partner? Now that's a whole different, right? That's a whole different conceptual universe, and virtually no one ever asked that question. And I would say, well, if you want an answer to the first question, which is how do I find the person who's right for me, you actually start by asking the second question, which is what can I bring to the table for someone else? And if you're really good at bringing something to the table for someone else, hey man, people might be lining up to be your partner. And if they're not, then you might think, well, maybe I'm just not bringing the right thing to the table. And that's worth thinking, especially if you're desperate, you're lost, and you're alone. It's like, maybe I got this wrong.
He's absolutely right. And I think the reason why people don't ask that question is because people go into relationships for selfish reasons. They think, what can I get out of this relationship? And that is for men and women. I see in women's spaces, they say, get what you can get out because men are trash and will cheat on you anyway. So make sure you can get as much money and as much material possessions out of a relationship as you can before it ultimately ends. And then for men, it's like, you know, make sure you can get her body as much as you can, and maybe even all her friends' bodies, because she's gonna finesse you anyway, so you might as well enjoy yourself while you can before she fucks you over. Everybody's trying to get what they can get out of a relationship instead of mutually coming to the relationship and saying, this is what I can give you. It is not like a list of things of like, here's an apple and a pencil and a teddy bear, and what do you have? It's like, how can we complement each other's lives instead of someone overwhelmingly pouring way more into one person or another, right? And so I was taught this. This is the exact thing that I was taught in my household. My mom always said, until she was religious, so the way she would word it was, until God brings you your husband, you work on yourself so you are the person your husband wants when you meet. Because if you meet your husband and you've lived your life in a way that you are not working on yourself, you're not growing, you're not, getting rid of all that fucking childhood trauma, then you're not going to be prepared, and the relationship is not going to work, even if that's the one for you. And a lot of times, and statistically speaking, when you look at the papers of people who experience childhood trauma, a lot of times that trauma doesn't manifest until you are sexual in romantic relationships. So a lot of times when people are single, they're not working on themselves. They're not fixing all that baggage for childhood trauma or the romantic trauma they've experienced in past relationships. And so when they get into another relationship, they project all of that trauma onto their partner. And so instead of constantly looking for someone to be with, in the meantime, work on you. And that's for men and women. What can you provide for your partner? And again, it's not always this tangible thing. Someone who can help you organize your home or your life. Someone who is going to help you continue to be ambitious. Someone who's just equally yoked to you. But again, I think because we live in a society of junk values who obsess over material possessions and image, a lot of people go into relationships wanting those junk values that have been pushed into their psyche through society, through media, through social media and stuff like that. Instead of wanting a partner that's going to be there for you to the day you die, that's going to wipe your ass if you ever get paralyzed, never leave your side, who's going to stick it through you through the storms and the weathers and all those things, not someone who just wants you because you look good on your arm or you look good for them on the social media gram. Anyway, I just think this was a really good video to tell people, work on you. Sit down, make a list of what can you work on. I've been working on my fucking self for years. Because I have childhood trauma and I don't want to bring that into a relationship. I don't want to bring, daddy issues into relationships and stuff like that. I want to bring a healthy, well-rounded woman into my relationships, and that's what I expect from my man. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think of this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Bye.